What are my 5 must-have accessories for sim racing? These are bits of hardware for my rig that I just can't live without, that make life much easier, much more enjoyable, improves quality of life 10x just by having these 5 little things. During this video, I'm going to show you them, 2 of which are so important that if I was to actually remove them from my rig and show it to you, my rig would die. I'm not even joking. So some pictures will have to suffice for this, but don't worry about it. I'll be able to explain it in detail. And they're all very simple things. Again, like I said, very cheap. If you're interested in any of these things, there's Amazon affiliate links down below. If you use it to buy anything, there's a small kickback to the channel or something like that at no extra cost to yourself, or you can go look it up yourself. Right, so let's just jump straight into this. And there's a couple of little bonus little tips and a little bonus accessory as well that I'm going to sprinkle in the video. So if you enjoy it anytime, don't forget to go down there, uppercut that like button, and maybe subscribe if you like. If you don't, subscribe. Right, numero uno is the USB hub. This thing here I thought was common knowledge until I've told a few people and they're like, what? Oh my God, that's great. Like the people say like, hey, all right, the sim racing thing's getting kind of real. I'm just running out of USB slots on my computer. And it's like, well, wait a minute. There is this guy. This guy is a USB hub. So what you do is you take one USB, you turn it into multiple. So if you have a little look here, you can actually see that this guy has 4 USB A's, 2 USB C's. There's even one on the top as well. And what that does is what it says on the tin. You plug one in and then you get access to 4 USB-Cs, even one up here just for power. The one I actually have plugged into my computer at the moment, if I pull that out, it'll die and it may never come back on again. I'm only joking about that, but still, it's very important. It runs a lot of lights and stuff like that. I actually probably couldn't do my video without it, or I'd have to do so much work to just show it to you, so I can't do it. But this is the exact one that I'm using back there. So one of the things I love about this is because it's only using one USB and then it brings, I believe the one behind has 8. I only have to have one cable coming over to my monitors, and then I stick it to the back of my monitor, and then all the USBs from the wheelbase, the pedals, the microphones, the lights, the button box, the stream deck, the everything just goes back into there, and then it goes back to the computer, which is really, really, really important and really handy and good for keeping things streamlined and making less cables have to go from the PC to the computer. A little bonus tip I'm going to throw in for you now is that I also do this with a power surge kit. This might not be everyone's taste, by the way, but just a quick one. I leave the extender brick, or it's like an extension lead with a power surge protector guy, you know what I mean, with like multiple plug sockets in it. And then I put that behind the monitor. All my monitor plugs go into that. My wheelbase adapter is stuck onto the back of that as well, on the back of the rig, the frame. A lot of plugs go there. Again, meaning I only have to have one power cable leaving my computer, and I have like one USB coming in. So it's a very streamlined setup, and the 3 display cables. But yeah, these guys, get one of them. They're bloody great. Next up on the list is this guy. This guy's not very obvious what this is, but this is essential. These guys are Velcro cable ties, zip ties, whatever you want to call them, and they're reusable. So they're brilliant. So what you do is you take one, you fold it in on itself, press it down, and then you get like a zip tie. It's very, very simple, but it's a very easy way to keep your whole setup clean, put cables together, and unlike cable ties, you can cut them or go to a lot of effort to kind of undo them. Velcro ties are just so much easier. They're very cheap. And then when you're done, you can just stick them back on each other like no one's business. So these guys, absolute game changer. Next up on my list is this guy. Microfiber cloths and a cheap air duster. Some people like using compressed air. I'm not a big fan of it because it makes stuff cold and wet, and I don't know why. It's the sort of thing that 1,000 people trusted. I'm just not mad about putting it near things I care about, so I'm kind of old school. I use this, you know what I mean? And this guy here is perfect. It's used for camera photography. When photographers change their lenses, they just give it a little blow, you know what I mean? That's just very simple, you know. It gets into nooks and crannies that microfiber cloths might not be able to. And then there's microfiber cloths, which all you guys know what these are. These are just very simple for cleaning. You don't need to add product or anything like that on your metal rig. All you need to do is just wipe it down with this, and this will collect everything. Give it a quick whack and a shake, and you're good to go, and your pride and joy is looking sexy as all hell. Number 4 may not be for everyone's taste, but it is mine, and it is for a few friends of mine. So one thing you may have with your rig is that you may have plugged it in, you know, through different kind of surge protectors and stuff like that, and you have it all cable routed going down to, let's say, one plug. If done right, this isn't a big deal, because the main thing you just don't want to do is you don't want to blow the main trip switch. So as long as that trip switch is happy and the fuse within the plug head is nice, you can load up one of those surge protectors as long as the cable is neat and stuff like that. But one thing I will say is that people do like to hide them for, you know, aesthetic purposes, make it look nice. Usually when you do that, it's hard to access. So one thing I saw a friend, he recommended this, a guy in the Discord, You can actually get a Phillips wall plug, and basically it is a wireless switch for a plug. So you attach it onto the plug, and then you put that whole plug unit into the wall. And then you have it on an app, something like this. So here it is here. That is the simulator. So I just open up the Philips Hue app, and then I turn that off. And if I press that button right now, the video will stop recording because everything here will just go doof, off. So it's a very easy way to turn on and off the rig. It's pretty funny because the rig is kind of close to my bed in this kind of setup. So sometimes I'm in bed and the rig is on. There's obviously lots of lights. I have a joke with my girlfriend saying that is one pretty expensive night light. But yeah, it's a very quick and easy to turn it off and turn it on. And you can use voice commands, Alexa or whatever, Google, Siri, all that kind of thing with this app. So it's a very easy way to just be like, hey, turn on the rig or turn off the rig. Stuff like that. And I don't think it's too expensive either. I think it's about $37 on Amazon or something like that. You can find them for cheap. Don't spend too much on them if you are interested. But quality of life improvement with this guy is unreal. And number 5, I saved the best to last because this one here, some of these might not be for your interest. You might not like to keep your rig clean. You might not need extra USBs. You may not care for stuff like wireless switching. But this last thing, this is related to racing. Now, this is awesome. So what this last thing is a REV Light Bar. And, you know, someone got this for me for Christmas one year, and it was, you can find them on Etsy. They're about $30 to $40 or $50. I wouldn't spend any more on it. Really don't be spending near 50. You know, you can get these for cheap. It's a row of LEDs connected to a USB. That's all. And you connect it through SimHub, you go through the motions, you set it up. But when you're racing, you actually have a REV Light bar attached to the bottom of your monitor. In this case, I was so lazy that I just super glued it onto my monitor because I tried Blue Tack, I tried different mounting solutions, nothing worked. So I just super glued it on. I don't know how it's going to come off one day, but that's a problem for someone in the future. But yeah, no, this thing is amazing because one of the things sim racing, it's important in sim racing, is knowing where your revs are. When you're racing, you want to shift at the perfect time. So we rely a lot on looking at the little fake LEDs on the steering wheel or the dash in our simulator, but we're looking at it through a screen where LEDs are really in your face, like in a real race car. So what this does is this is actually real LEDs just on your screen, and what it works as is like a kind of like a medium. So it's not like from real life into the simulator. The simulator is really coming out at you. You got the force feedback, you got the hearing, you know, you got the engine sounds, but you also have a clear flash of blue or whatever colors you choose for your REV Light bar in your face to let you know when to shift. And you don't have to go looking for it like you do in the sim. These are LEDs flashing, so in your peripheral vision, you can see exactly how many LEDs are on, nailing those shifts every time, completely customizable in SimHub. So if you're running a car where you want to fuel save or whatnot, you can have custom different segments of different percentages of like the max RPM and stuff. Really unreal stuff. I'd recommend this to anyone. You can use it on any kind of setup, whether you're in an office, you can just have it laid down. You can do absolutely anything with a simple REV Light bar. I believe this one has 16 LEDs in it. That's the one I have. It's the most essential thing I have because it really breaks the barrier. Like I use the FX Pro, it's amazing. But it's just nice to have designated LEDs that are just super bright in your face. And it's great for immersion. It's great for fun. And the first time using them, it really feels like, whoa, this is the best thing I've ever done in my life. So yeah, REV Light Bar, have a look on Etsy. That's what they're called, REV Light Bars. So there's lots of different manufacturers. You can even make them yourself if you want. But those are my 5 top accessories. Now I have a little bonus one for you because I did mention that I'd throw in a bonus. I did mention about sticking the USB thing behind. I would say, now this might be an impulse buy if you are going to do it, but this will save your ass one day. I mean it. This is double-sided Velcro tape. So what happens is one side is the hard part, one side is the soft part. It's Velcro, and there's sticky back on each side, 3M material, and then you peel back this, and then you stick it onto whatever you want. Very, very sticky stuff. And for example, I have a lot of stuff. I have them kind of actually dotted around my monitors. You can't really see because sometimes I use an eye flag. And sometimes I like it facing me, sometimes I like it facing the camera. It's a really easy way to stick things on in a non-permanent way, but to also stick them on with quite a lot of force. For example, I wanted my USB hub stuck behind my monitor because that's the best place for it. Done. You know what I mean? So double-sided Velcro tape, don't underestimate it. It's a very handy thing to have. You can use it for absolutely anything. So highly recommend this stuff. But guys, those are my top 5 accessories with 1 tip and 1 bonus. Hopefully you did enjoy the video, and let me know yours down below. Are there any like things you cannot live without when it comes to sim racing with your sim rig, any bits of hardware, little accessories, nothing too wild. Just little things that just you've found to be so useful for yourself. Let me know because I'm very curious to hear. But guys, if you enjoyed the video, again, don't forget to show the love down below, and I will see you in the next one.